Welcome back, chess fans. In this video, how to crush the Scandinavian, and specifically the most popular variation online, which is Queen A5 right here. Spend a lot of time to prepare this video, and this is the results. What we're gonna do is have a special prep, and the special prep is the move 4A3. Now you can see this is only the 9th most popular move, and by far you have many other options for white that black will prepare. But this one is highly interesting. Now, what is my inspiration? Spend a lot of time, but also look at this Mamedov game, Grandmaster level, where on move 5 he played 5A3, reached this position, and won the game, right? So now that we're ready for that, I'm gonna remember that the big idea is 4A3, and we're gonna bring the board and decide to go with the variation. So here I'm playing 4A3, and the main idea is the queen on A5 already doesn't have lots of squares, and B4 would be a very logical square, and we may prepare to play B4 on our own. Now, in this position, there are a lot of ways for black to play, but some of them are very tricky. So before I go with the main move, which would be C6, that's definitely the best idea. What happens if black just develop a piece? Now we go B4. The queen moves, and we do knight F3, and here we're gonna take the advantage very quickly. We attack the queen, and then we play D4. And one of the ideas of attacking the queen and moving the knight is we are ready to play c2, c4. So in the game that I can explain here, we are playing c4. And that's much better for white. And if black tries to open up, we play c5 with a big advantage here. So knight f6 seems to be logical, but b4 and already we are in a driver's seat. If I do check, don't worry, you're going to do bishop e2, knight a3, and the queen's going to have to move one more time. Now, another idea would be to play knight c6 here on this move. In this case, we don't play b4, but we play d4 with a simple idea, d5. Now, e5 is the best move. We take, check, and here bishop e3. Now the game continues, we attack the queen, and when the queen moves back, we attack the queen again. Now the queen moves back, and here we have a big advantage. Queen d2, logical, and then long castle. Black castle, bishop g5. So much pressure, right? h6, and here, knight f6 checks, and this is absolutely winning. If you play like that, I take back, with some idea of queen h is coming, and in the game black tried to do king h8, right? But here we have a beautiful position, h4 played, and on knight g6 you simply play queen c3, and you can check. Nothing works for black. You cannot take here because I take back, and if you take this one, I take here, and this is a winning attack. So such a nice way on knight c6 to play d4. All right, now let's see what else can be done. On e5, we simply play knight f3, and that's not a big idea. On c5, we play knight f3 again, and on knight f6, we play d4. And when black takes, we take b4, the queen moves, and here we go with a very nice ending. Why is that? Knight db5, 7 is a threat, a6. And here we go knight a4. That's very strong because we're trying to do a fork. So of course knight on d7 to prevent that. But here we go with our main idea. Remember a3 played on move 4, then followed by b4 attacking the queen, and now we play c4. Very nice structure here. We have the two bishops here, and we have a great position overall. So c5 is not a good idea. So what is the best idea after a3? Again, is is to play c6. And why is that so important? Now, b4 is not so great because the queen will go to c7 and you don't have an advantage there. So c6 is critical. Now we continue, g4, knight f6, and I spent quite a bit of time on this position. Initially, I thought that maybe bishop c4 would be very interesting, but black simply counter with bishop f5, and that's a great game. So instead, as Grandmaster Mabedov has shown us in the intro, bishop g3 is the best move. Now, black cannot develop bishop f5. If I play e6, that bishop will not have much to do. So bishop g4 is played, and now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the key position of the whole system. And I'm gonna pause here and show you this is what we play. On move 4, we play 4a3. If blacks know the best way to defend, after bishop g3, bishop g4, we play knight f3. Look at this position. This is the only position you need to remember in the secret prep, starting with 4a3. So now, in case your opponent is well prepared or is very strong and reach this position, what do? Once again, I look with the computer with a f3 would be promising, but it is not. Knight f3 developing a piece. Now, queen c7 logical. We play h3, bishop h5. Obviously, if black takes on f3, we take back with the queen, we have the bishop pair. And here, this is where the prep continues. What to do with white? And now, we play g4. Bishop g6 only move. g5, 97 only move. And here, we have the key idea of this secret weapon against the Scandi. Now, I did not find that myself. I turned on the engine, Stockfish 16, the latest and greatest, and the computer is suggesting knight e2. Now, that move is such a great idea. You cover f4 so that the knight cannot come there, but you prepare c2, c4. Now, let me just stop right here. c2, c4 is great because the knight has to move again, and the only place he could go is on b6, and you're very happy to push b4, c4 in this variation. So now, knight e2, brilliant idea, and black can play b5. If I play b5, that's the best move, then you prevent c4. But we are not done, right? h4, we play our plan, h5, the bishop on g6 has to come here, we take back, knight d7 is logical, and here we go b3. What do we want to do? Very simple, c4. Once again, that knight cannot come here, cannot come there. And look very closely, how do you prevent c2, c4 for black? You can't. So let me tell you that black would be very unhappy if they play rook d8 over here, king f1. Such a modern way to play chess, but if black would castle, you have your rook ready, your king here is safer than the king over there, and you are preparing c4. Now you can stop your analysis, you don't need to remember the move, but let me show you what it would look like. You would have a superposition like that, and you are completely dominating. And this position is 3 pawns ahead. For white, you have a great potential, and black is stuck, right? Black is stuck. If black tries to do bishop e7, then g4 wins the knight. So this was 92 b5, and very exciting. Let's say that black just develop a piece here. Now, what do? You take on g6 first, and you play c4. Only move, knight b6, and what do? You develop your pieces, bishop f4. And this position is great on queen c8, let's say, you would simply play queen c2 and look at this position. Black is absolutely tied up, miserable. You're gonna play long castle. These knights don't have any prospects. This is such a fantastic position to play for the white pieces. So if I sum up, what is the main line of this entire variation? What you should remember: Scandi, a3, black plays c6, you play d4, you put your bishop, that is the best move, knight f3, and here on queen c7, h3, and you're ready to launch with g4. So this is a plan that Mamedov used, using a different move order, and I thought that's a great, exciting way to catch your opponent in this very important Scandinavian defense. I leave you the key position. Feel free to leave your comments, ideas, suggestions, but that's how I recommend with one e4 you can meet this tricky opening. And I see you in the next one.